Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at your actual proposal. All right.
When I wrote this my presentation, I can share it again.
Yeah, just share me the link. I'm just scrolling through here because there's stuff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me grab this.
Exactly.
There we go. Cool. All right, so I will go back to sharing and appreciate the patience. The first one is always a trickier one.
No problem. I had more time than the others, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically we're starting almost on time. All right, so this is the right one?
That's the right one. Yeah,
that's the right one. Okay, here we go.
My name is Mario. Let me introduce myself and my two proposals, decentralized learning platform and IdeaConf. They are to a certain degree taking, so I will not go into too much detail.
Maybe louder.
Interested.
Okay.
Them yourself.
I have it on max volume.
You may not be sharing the sound on the
video.
You should have a bar that says more options.
Let's see more.
For you to check.
Oh, here you go.
22 plus years of work, I have had different roles.
Working in govs, large enterprise and startups, and in different countries. My proposals are about learning. I was involved in the developing of a distance learning platform for the Italian government around 15 years ago. And for the past 3 years, I was CTO at Prism, a cutting-edge adaptive learning platform based on machine learning in Cambridge. Everything was fine in my career until at some point I became trapped in the rabbit hole of blockchain, and I quit my job. Well, almost like that. I spent more than a year digging, experimenting, and research until I fell in love with Cardano, and now I work full-time on it. There are many reasons, but the most important are the scientific approach based on collective intelligence to avoid relying on just one person, even if it's a genius. As a functional developer, my admiration for the mathematical rigor of Haskell and the solid, large, and passionate Cardano community made up by dreamers who want to make the world better. The Cardano community is not an army of traders. I feel part of the community, and my desire is to bring my deep knowledge of e-learning into the Cardano ecosystem. Blockchain is much more than just crazy DeFi speculation and silly NFT apes or similar. Blockchain and e-learning have a huge potential for social impact. But blockchain and e-learning is not just about storing your certificate somewhere to prove what you have accomplished. It is about providing what you are learning in a granular way, chapter by chapter, exercise after exercise. If so, it means that expensive course taken or passed in a fancy US academy, for example, could be comparable in value and prestige to the course taken and passed in Nigeria, for example, because ultimately what matters will be what you learned and not where you learned it. To better understand this concept, please go to poly.net. Time is ticking, and I should talk about the proposals. I have designed 3 autonomous components that will be the pillars of a much larger solution. The ultimate goal is to build an open source decentralized learning platform. It is worth mentioning that currently nothing similar exists on the market, nor adopting other blockchains. The decentralized learning platform has to provide tools for publishing a learning material not owned by a single central authority, updating or evolving learning material by community using collective intelligence, letting students own their learning journey data, such as progress, pass-fail assessment, exposed content, and so on, letting the student own their certification document, compensated economically creator for learning content, generally topics expert, compensating economically the verifiers of students' knowledge, general teacher, compensating economically for coding, fixing, evolving the platform. They are general developers, architect, tester, and tech contributors. The decentralized learning platform will be owned by all its contributors, no companies. It will be self-sustained through the course sold. It will be managed and coordinated by a DAO. and financed by a DAO treasury. Revenue stream to contributor will come from treasury. Sponsorship from a VC or company are welcome, but the platform ownership is not for sale. This is not some sort of dream. It is happening. The Learning DAO is already successful working on this with professional contributors. Follow it on Twitter for updates and in GitHub for details. So let's come back to the 3 autonomous modules as a part of the decentralized learning platform. Proof of lifelong learning, Poly.net, for letting students own their data. That is work in progress. Proof of co-creation, POCRE, for making sure the content creator has the opera recognized. And this is work in progress. So the final and vital part is the likelihood module, also called Bounder, based on understanding. It will guarantee the economic sustainability of the learning platform. Students will pay for the verification of their knowledge in a kind of gamified mode, betting on the right answer. Bright students could have their education for free. Other students just pay for it. Bounder is inspired by the white paper AVMCQ, Evidential Multiple Choice Questions, and also inspired by the business model of Kahoot. Kahoot is the first of the top 10 largest edtech company in the world. So if you are interested on the social aspect of learning, I hope I have convinced you to vote for these proposals. But if you are also interested in ADA value and your investment in Cardano, think about the e-learning market size that is 181 billion by 2025 and 377 billion by 2030. Let's think about the 50 million monthly user of Kahoot. Seems like a lot of ADA transaction to me. So that said, I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you will make the right use of your vote power. Bye.
Okay.
That's it. So
Nice.
thank you.
Yeah,
My
thank you
accent,
for-
my English is
okay.
not understandable very much. So
It's
if there
fine.
are questions, any doubts, concern, especially, just tell me.
I have one.
Yeah.
First of all, I love your proposal, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and that's really amazing.
Thank you.
Most of all, I would like to pick your brain on what's the importance on open source tooling for the community, and also providing this platform where people can really learn and get into the Cardano community. So what's your opinion on that?
Well, the reason why the project is open source is mainly, well, there is a practical reason and an ideological reason. Ideological is I feel good if in the end of the day, Cardano, the community is paying me to build my idea, and then I feel that I had to give back. No, this is like how I feel good about that. A practical reason is, and also this is the reason why I wanted to create a DAO, is that developers are very expensive, especially Haskell developer. There are no many. None of them are, many of them are good developers, but many others are developers only because they are well paid, but doesn't mean that they have the experience. So at the end, if it's if you are the sponsor of a project, you have to pay lots of money for someone that don't deserve it just because started like 2 months ago, 6 months ago of coding. It's not enough. So my idea is, okay, I put it open source. I want to give this project to the community, and I want to pay the people that contribute with the ownership of the platform. So you're not receiving only money because you're coding, you will receive money by the authorship. So and the authorship is not just for the coders, it's also for teachers that creates material. So I'm a teacher, I create material, I want to receive money, I put the material in the platform, and I will receive money because there are students that are using my material. So I want to distribute value. And I think only being open 100% can achieve this goal.
Perfect. And one more thing, I think one of the big issues when having a DAO and trying to set up these like self-sustainable systems where people help to the community and they get rewarded by that. How are you using the tokenomics like to further bring people to the platform or strategic partnerships? Is that set on the tokenomics, like certain piece of the governance tokens go towards partners, and how do you work with that?
I got it. I honestly don't know enough about tokenomics. Few people suggested me that I should go there for a better finance of the overall platform. I don't have that experience, so I'm not still there, but something that I will look into. Probably it's very important.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Very good question.
Thank you. So that was great. So we should keep moving. So Daniel, since you were talking, would you like to go next?
Yes, of course.
Sure.
Can I share
So-
my screen?
Let's see. You should be able to.
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Can you guys see?
we can see yes.
Please let me know if it changes the screen because sometimes
It's all perfect.
Yeah, it looks good.
fuck. If I do this, you see another slide.
No, we're still in the first slide.
Yeah, it's the lead slide, the material. There you go. Now we see.
Let me share again. That's what happened.
Now try to change it.
Yeah,
Now,
there you go.
perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Now we can see it.
Perfect.
Very good.
Okay, well, I'm Daniel Samson. I'm from Mexico City. We are called Metera, and we are a DeFi platform that offers the opportunity to its users to create and also invest in impact tokenized portfolios. So how do we do this? Is we analyze impact projects. As of now, we have a centralized rating system, which we intend to make open source and a different entity, so everyone has access to the data and those queries. Why we want to do this is we want to drive the growth of the impact sector, and one of the most important things is that many impact projects do not have the funding necessary to get the impact to every people they want to apply. So that's why we are building the tools that we can provide the community with the best options with impact projects. Basically, we've been working a lot with climate communities and social impact communities in Cardano. We know they are trying to solve a whole range of problems from climate change, poverty, equality. And well, as we know, it has been on the main agenda of governments and philanthropy, but they are not equipped to solve this alone. And we think blockchain will help adopt this trend in a much quicker way and more helpful as well. We kind of realized there's a market opportunity in impact, especially in Cardano. I was just reading the other day that Cardano is 47,000 times more energy efficient than Bitcoin. And that's amazing because that means that every project in Cardano, just by using Cardano, is impact driven and making not much of a carbon footprint in the world. We've also been working closely and partnering up with a community called Cardano for Climate, in which there's more than 200 impact proposals seeking funding for Fund9. And we want to help those projects that have native tokens, either in a DAO or a utility token, to get into our portfolios and provide liquidity to them. So basically, a little resume is we are trying to be the bridge between those impact projects and the capital needed with a tool that automatizes the asset management and also all under a DAO, in which all of the fees collected by the asset management or transaction fees will go towards the users that are the governance holders, and they'll be gaining as much as they're investing and having an impact on the world. We are developing all of these with a company called MLabs. MLabs is one of the biggest Haskell and Bluetooth developers in the ecosystem. They work very closely with IOG and IOHK. They've also worked with big projects like SundaySwap and Liquid Finance. And well, we have some of a merge agreement in which we are both owners of the projects of a part of the DAO, and all of the rest of the tokenomics will be divided between private sale to make some fundraising to get the development. As Mario said, developing in Haskell and Bluetooth is really, really expensive. So we're trying to do an ISPO in the next following months. I think DeFi is a really interesting tool that not much of people really know about it and what's the idea behind it, especially in the asset management industry. You can really make things more efficient and really provide liquidity to those projects in a much quicker, faster, and efficient way. And all of these governed by a DAO in which we are not putting the interest of the company first, but we are distributing all of the money to holders. So they are incentivized to keep investing, to get rewards and stake those portfolio tokens or the governance tokens. We are about to launch in the next month and a half or 2 months our first dashboard as a demo, a testnet, where you can buy and sell tokenized portfolio tokens, buy and sell tokens as well. And we're developing a tool so you can visualize which parts of the world those projects are having an impact and really measure that impact. We are seeking funding in this Fund9 to design all of the front end, do all the deployment and critical testing and research for our next version of the smart contract. As it stands right now, we have a fully working B01 where we can create tokenized portfolios and all of the financial instruments, rebalance capabilities, etc. And now we want to develop towards building a DAO and going towards an ISPO. So thank you very much. That's our initiative. We are really trying to make a better world for everyone, also providing the so everyone can invest and visualize things. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I don't know how much time I have left.
You have actually great. I mean, it's a great presentation. You have actually 3 or 4 minutes left. You did it in 6 minutes and 10 seconds. So any questions for Daniel?
Yeah, I got one. I'm probably going to be speaking tomorrow, Daniel, so I can ask this tomorrow. But I think this is a good opportunity for us to speak in public. Yeah, what challenges do you see for when you're going to start seeking investors? Do you think you're going to need a list of projects that you're going to be launching onto your platform, or yeah, what are the challenges do you see like for attracting investors?
So I think one of the main things that investors, not in an ISPO or a decentralized model when you're fundraising, but outside like VC money, one of the questions they have and problems they have with our project is how do you really monetize impact? Because we work with this idea that if we provide liquidity to those impact projects that are not mainly for monetizing, but they have a sustainable financial system and not at all for profit system, in the long run, they are gonna create a lot of value, and the impact alone should be really valuable. So I think the mindset of the money on the fundraising is always on how do you monetize? How do you make things cheaper? What's the biggest fee you can keep to yourself and then provide that value to your investors? So that's why we're thinking maybe an ISPO or a fundraising in Cardano or with crypto can be much easier, and we can get a lot of people that really want to make an impact in the world. Nin, I think you have a question as well.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the ping, by the way. Really, really appreciate it. What is it unique about Matera, right, that you guys are solving today, and why did you come up with this idea?
First, how did we come up with this idea is here in Mexico, we had a lot of interest for, well, last year when there was a bull run, everyone wanted to get into crypto. They wanted to get their investments and they were looking asset managers. And I had a lot of experience trading my own money with my partners. So we opened this kind of hedge fund when we took in private investors. But over the last years, I've been involved with a lot of social projects here in Mexico. And I wanted to have an impact thesis with the investments we were doing. And we found out there weren't many tools to first measure impact and let alone invest in impact. So we took it into ourselves to do it. So what do I think is the unique thing about Matera is that we are betting on the idea that impact will be leader, and especially in Cardano. So we are trying to do this financial rating because, of course, you don't want to lose money to your users by investing in tokens that are not really sustainable. But we're leaving that like in second place. Like, yes, this is solid financial and maybe not the best ROI you can expect, but if you provide the liquidity, it's gonna be amazing, and you can really measure all of the impact, boots on the ground you are making. And I don't think, let alone Cardano, also in Ethereum, no one has this proposal to only invest in impact.
Awesome, man. I already voted yes, so good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we're that's 10 minutes, so we're great. Who would like to go next? I won't pick somebody like I did that.
Can I go next?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, guys. So let me see if I can share my screen, and well, let me see.
There you go.
Give me 1 second. Actually, let me do this one thing. And seriously, Daniel, thanks for picking me. I totally would have missed this, so really appreciate it. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So hi, everybody. My name is Nin. I'm the CEO of Snapbrillia. And today, actually, I'm going to talk to you about a Fund9 proposal to mentor mentee gigs and bounties and open source crowdfunding, which was open source quadratic voting and funding. At Snapbrillia, we're pioneering a new path to equal opportunities for everyone, and we invite you to join us. What we essentially build is Upwork and Fiverr on Web3. Built natively on Cardano. We're one of the brand new dApps that have launched last month. See, the problem that we're solving is that developers are extremely expensive. The total compensation, wages plus benefit, take the majority of most projects' budget, while even if you do have money, you are competing with all the big tech companies out there for talent. And when it comes down to it, it's always time versus budget versus quality. That's my experience building companies and startups That's really the triangle of technical debt and project debt. For young startups and young projects, early products often need strong developers who are seasoned, especially in Haskell and Plutus. There's not that many around, and for sure, they don't just apply to jobs. And so what we're trying to do is decentralize opportunities, take opportunities from wealthier countries, wealthier projects, even wealthier, quote unquote, right? And offer the same opportunities and learnings to people who really appreciate it. So for projects, we're able to get them to get access to engineers who would really appreciate the opportunities, and in this way get 1 million self-taught people in tech. Our solution is simple: GitHub Bounty's marketplace, where projects can build and grow with the right devs on budget with no compromise. We have a huge talent database that where we filter down, vet seasoned professionals for any tech stack anywhere. Actually, now we've opened it up not just for developers, but designers, marketers, anybody. We help people build their on-chain proof of reputation that's verified and trusted economic identity. Build on SSI that they can use to further tap into more opportunities and challenges. As you can see, we're live, open for business. We built this in 3 months from being funded in May and June in Fund9, launching in July and August, getting our first hires and first customers. Here's the traction so far. 76 people have landed jobs through Snappelia already, 2 just in that last month, 72 over the past year through our own private beta internally at big and small companies. Here's a story of one project from Tangent, where at this moment at launch, we have a 1,000, 1,008 minimum. We only charge 10% gig fee, not 20% or any staffing fees right now. We waive that to help build other projects. And here's like an example. We invited about 200 people, 168 actually have explored the gig, 96 clicked around, and 86 actually engaged with the gig, replied, and had some questions. In this 1 week of engagement, we drove 20 active developers to Tangent, and out of those 20 active developers, they have selected 2 full-time hires. So instead of 1.5 months, 45 days to 60-day, 63-day average hiring for devs, we helped them hire 2 people in less than 10 days. Here's a testimonial. We found one really good lady who's full stack developer from the DevSnap with us since. Loads of Web2 experience, and she's Web3 too, and she's huge plus. She's in our Slack helping now. We recruited her and 1 more dev to the full-time team after successful bounty. Check out our YouTube for a video testimonial. I'll play one quite quickly.
Again, just a big thank you to the Snappelia team. We've been able to get our bounties up there, find some great developers, and really build and create the things that we need to help us achieve our goals of bringing more utility to NFTs on Cardano. Thank you to Nin and his team.
Awesome, thank you, Ben. What is Tangent building, and why is it important for you guys to find developers?
It's a good question. So when we came across Cardano and the whole Catalyst community, we wanted to bring more utility to the network in regards to the NFTs. So yeah, Snappelia, Nin, yourself, we've been able to communicate with you from early days. You've been really open and helpful guiding us on this journey. And then yeah, through numerous communications with yourself, we learned about your bounty program, and we're able to, as mentioned just now, able to put our needs up there, and we're able to find the people to successfully implement the things that.
So check it out. We also have a testimonial for Ben.
Again, just a big thank you to the Snappelia team
as well. That one is a little bit quicker, but I will leave it up to the audience to check out. They're public on our website. We're creating the closeout video for these proposals, and it's just quite busy selling all the different companies and projects that are looking for talent. So for people who are looking for jobs, we offer simple access to opportunities, work experience, and remote learning, build their on-chain reputation. For recruiting, make it simple. More qualified candidates, better engagement. You can see a lot of people are very interested in bounties, especially the ones that we're introducing all these people to Cardano, all these developers to Cardano projects. And for engineering or hiring team, it's all about time to hire, quality to hire, and getting real work done. Again, this was funded in Fund 8. Got a ton of votes. Super grateful for the community support. We have a lot of engineers and a big team that really enjoy building the proof of reputation, the no code cloud IDE with support with Haskell and Plutus. It all preloads. You can just start coding. Don't have to install the dependencies, do all the IDE setup, and really we have really talented team. And that team is led by my co-founders, who all of them have previous successful startups. Frank, he used to be a YCOM alumni. His last startup reached $2 million of annual recurring revenue within 6 months. Beatrice, who built nonprofit organizations and tech for nonprofits, as well as James, who's a Techstars alumni building peer-to-peer lending services to help people avoid predatory loans. The best of all of us are self-taught engineers. Super blessed to have a lot of partners in the community, including our amazing advisors, beginning with my last co-founder, who has almost 14,000 citations, and Mark, who used to be a CTO at Microsoft. So my call to action today is please post a gig. You can just go to explore.snapbelly.com. It's live. Whatever you post, we will find you the right people who are willing to work on your budget, interested to help you build your project or join your project. And please also consider supporting us in Fund9. We've been extremely blessed to have super high rating, but rating is just rating. So if you don't vote, it doesn't count. Please vote whether you have a lot or a little. Thank you.
Great. We have a couple minutes for questions if anyone has any questions. So while people are thinking, I mean, near the last slide, did I read correctly that you have 20 Haskell developers working on this? Or is
Yes.
that? Oh wow! So I mean, that finding 20
we,
is amazing. You are very blessed.
We
Finding
are,
20 Haskell developers in one place is rare.
We're recruiting experts, right? And we have a huge database of talent, and so we prove it ourselves first.
Yeah.
So the 20 Haskell and Plutus devs, it's a mix of really senior people, like 10 plus Haskell, 40 plus years in functional Haskell programming even, and then a mix of junior devs who just graduated Plutus Pioneer program and similar, and we actively push their skill knowledge forward. And just yesterday we were able to demonstrate the quadratic voting and funding smart contract and how it works. And soon we'll upgrade it to Vassal version once that's live.
Awesome. Any other questions? We have time for one more.
Yes, Nin, I think one of the most amazing things I hear from you is the size of the database of developers you have. How big is it, and how long you've been building that? But because I imagine this is not only from SnapRelia, maybe from past projects, or was it done for SnapRelia?
Yeah, it is about 870.5.6 million. It's growing all the time, right? We do have a lot of partners to build this database. We've been building it for over a year now, right? So SnapRelia has been around for over a year. And literally, millions of dollars are being spent to build this huge network of talent that we have access to because we were one of the core partners and contributors to this. And now we try to, it is a centralized Web2 database, right? But because we are, for any project, any Web3 or Cardano project post a gig on our platform, once people opt in and they start engaging in our town community and the gig and are vetted, they automatically are assigned to be on Ata Prism and Hyperledger Aries and automatically become Cardano people.
Awesome. So we were supposed to be taking a break in a minute. We're a little bit behind, so we can do a 5 or 10 minute break if people want to stop for a second, or we can do one more and then take a break after that. I think we're a little light. I think we're supposed to have 8 people here, so we don't. So we're gonna probably be okay on time either way. But I'm happy to do another one if you want to jump in. If somebody wants to volunteer and grab the next slot, and then we can take a 5-minute break. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. Okay, let me share my screen. It's my first time using a Mac, so let's see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's okay. Wait a minute.
No, that's fine.
Wonderful. You can see it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see how I can go to the to there because okay, perfect. Okay, wonderful. Sorry for the time. It's my first time using a Mac.
No, it's fine.
Well,
It's fine. We're good. I'll start the timer. We're good on time.
Perfect. Well, hello guys. My name is Ashex La Bombarda. I'm the CEO and founder of Innovation. First of all, I will present what is Innovation. Innovation is an European fintech who provides disintermediated financial service, such as crowdfunding reward-based platform. Our crowdfunding platform is a Web2 web app connected to the Web3 blockchain of Cardano to launch smart contracts and read metadata transactions on chain. Álvaro Quiroga is the CTO of this project. We, as a startup, we have several proposals. We have a community focused to help entrepreneurs and freelancers, and this new product that is the crowdfunding platform. Today, I will present the co-proposal with Proof of Space called Innovation KYC and Anti-Money Laundering Implementation with Self-Sovereign Identity. First of all, I want to tell you that this implementation is for the crowdfunding platform called the Innovation Founder. This was founded in the Fund9, and we will be launching in the middle of November a beta for only for blockchain projects who wants to start to raising money selling their NFTs of utilities or collectibles, and also they can sell airdrops in the crowdfunding platform. This co-proposal with Proof of Space is a way to present the European license of crowdfunding to operate in the massive market of European. Proof of Space is a multi-network self-sovereign identity platform wrapped with no-code tools for building SSI workflows and ecosystem. So they will provide us the KYC and ML process to identify the identities of different accounts for the investors and for the startups or freelancer who wants to launch the crowdfunding campaigns in our platform. This will provide the necessary requisites for the necessary requirements for apply for the crowdfunding license in the European Union, because we see a problem right now in the crowdfunding market. That's it. You need to choose if you want to apply for a crowdfunding platform who only provides you the possibility to raise money in crypto, or a fiat crowdfunding platform that provides you the service of only raise money in fiat. You can do the both right now. And also, you don't have the all security steps for be sure that you will receive the service or the goods in the future, or you can have like the solution or the current documents for present some kind of accompaniment to the platform. So this proposal, joined with the proof of space, will provide us the old system that make you the KYC process. It's like Binance. When you create your account, you can upload your ID. And what we do is match your ID in the Web2 database on FIDO. We are using the provider of on FIDO, and then we will pass to use the Atala Priest. But in this first step, we will use on FIDO. And we can match the identities off-chain with our Web2 database with the Web3 transactions. Why? Because this is a disintermediated crowdfunding platform. What it means, we are not a web app where you can do the whole process by yourself, such as a DEX, for example. If not, we are doing a barrier of control of what kind of projects are starting crowdfunding campaigns in a platform. I will explain a little how it works. Suppose that you are a company who produce electric cars. You don't have any relationship with the blockchain technology. You are not connected with the blockchain. And you want to start a crowdfunding campaign in our platform for raise money in fiat and crypto. You are selling different versions of cars. And this system is very easy. The company registered in our platform, they need to complete the KYC and MEL process, so we can identify the startup with all requirements and be sure that it's a correct and good crowdfunding campaign. And then they will launch that crowdfunding, the crowdfunding goal of raising money. In this case, we will say that they are trying to reach 100K. So they will configure the old crowdfunding campaign. And we, as a crowdfunding platform, will launch a smart contract in the Cardano blockchain that remains the old money raised until that this crowdfunding campaign reach their goal. This is a model called all or nothing. So if you are looking for reach 100K, if you don't reach it, the money will be resended to the investors. And if you reach it, it will start the batch process, such as Project Catalyst. In this case, we added more security to the investors. When the startup launch their crowdfunding goal, they will have several batches configured previously in the crowdfunding campaign by the company. So the investor will have the control how this management of the money is used in step by step. And the investor will have the security of doing the analysis of it. For example, if this electric company who provides electric cars put in the configuration of the crowdfunding campaign 3 different steps. The first step is for buy the materials to build the car. The second, it could be the construction of the car, and the third, it will be the last thing of software and all the stuff to launch it to the market. They will have these 3 different steps defined in the crowdfunding campaign, so the investors can audit it and will be releasing the money step by step. If the company who present the crowdfunding campaign don't reach the different steps, the money that remains in the smart contracts will be released to the investor who support this project in a general ways. Because if the startup used the first batch, the second batch, and they didn't present correctly the third batch, you will not have the whole amount of the money. But the investor can be sure that they will receive a partial way of their investment. This KYC and anti-monitoring license for our crowdfunding platform will provide us to expand this business model not only for airdrops and NFTs, such that the platform pretends in the middle of November. If not, that we are expanding of model of business at crowdfunding market to the all companies who are not using blockchain technology also. So they can sell service, products or goods, okay, in our crowdfunding platform with and without relationship with the blockchain technology. And we are providing the whole system to give to the startups the opportunity to raise money in fiat by debit and credit card, and with crypto by different tokens. I mean, you can we will start with implementation of Nufi wallet and Nami wallet, and then we will start to add in more wallet, and you can pay in different tokens, not only in Cardano. And that's it, really. This is a co-proposal with Space to apply the KYC and ML for the European license. The goal of this is the massive adoption. Right now, I have different kind of crowdfunding platform using the blockchain technology, but the thing is that they are not based in any country, or it's not like really safe to use it. And also, if you are not a blockchain project based, you cannot launch the crowdfunding campaign there because you don't have any relationship, any token, anything there. So this is a kind of open the blockchain technology for financial service and to provide this solution for more security and for more options to raise money to different startups, not only for blockchain projects, if not also for blockchain who don't use it.
Okay,
so that's it.
Thank you. We have a minute for questions, if anyone has any questions.
I do have a question again.
Okay.
I think the regulatory framework is one of the most difficult things to go by when you are a blockchain startup. Right now, we are only supporting, well, in November, NFTs and airdrops. And do you plan to expand to tokens that might be considered securities in certain regulations, or that's a lot more into the time further down the line, I think?
Well, in this case, in the crowdfunding market, you have several categories. We are appointing to the reward-based category. In this case, the investor will give you a perk, will buy you a perk that you are selling, and you will receive a service, product, or well, yeah, a good service or product in reward. In this case, we are starting with airdrops and NFTs because it's the more easy implementation for smart contracts. And also, we don't require a license or anything of the fiat world, for say something, right? With this co-proposal with Proof Space, we can build a marketplace with the identities that require the European Union for provide this service in a massive way. So any startup in the European Union can use it, and it will implement the possibility to use it platform for companies who are not selling NFTs or tokens in the blockchain. But with the question of the security tokens, that's other market. It's other license, is other stuff. It's like, for example, the crowdfunding market of equity or the crowdfunding market of debt. That's something that we have in mind, but first of all, we want to implement and apply the license for reward based.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, EX, do we have time or not really?
Well, I mean, is anybody? I mean, so we've got a couple folks who haven't spoke. Are you presenting? Because I don't see your names on my list. But if you're scheduled to present, who hasn't presented yet? Okay, I think we have
watchers
I think
us.
they're just viewers. I think yeah, because I'm looking at our list of other projects, and I think we're missing a few people that probably couldn't get through with the link, the Zoom link. Yeah, go ahead, fire away if you have another question.
Yeah, AX, awesome presentation, and pretty good proposal as well. You know, for crowdfunding platforms or any funding platforms, KYC ML is very important. Could you double click on that and kind of you know, explain to the voters what kind of AML and KYC solutions will this bring to the ecosystem?
I'm not sure that I understand the question.
Yeah, how does the KYC and ML work?
Well, in this case, I will put an example, okay? For example, if you are using Kickstarter, you can launch your campaign in 5 minutes. You configure it and you launch it and you can start to raising money. What we don't want in our marketplace, that is a problem what you have right now in the reward-based marketplace, is that any platform rewatch or take a look to this crowdfunding campaign to see if they are correct, if this company exists, if they are real people or real companies. So one thing is for implement blockchain solution in the massive world, not only for blockchain projects, you need to comply to different license and requirements of the jurisdictions. Okay, in my case, being in Europe, we have the requirements very defined. It's better than USA in that case. And what we want to provide with this KYC and MEL process is verify the identity of the startups, verify the identity of the investors, not only for apply for the license of the European Union, if not also for provide the security for both. Because the all transaction will be on-chain, not off-chain. And we need to link this database with the identities with the transaction into the blockchain. So each investor who will do the investment, doesn't care if you are doing the investment in fiat or directly in crypto, this will have an onboarding. So the idea here is the all transaction will be on chain. And if you don't understand the blockchain technology, if you don't have the wallet, you can create it and operate in our platform, and we will help you to make it in the blockchain. This wallet integration is not like Binance. We will not have the keys of each wallet. They will be private for each investor. We will only link in our database the public address with the identity that we can achieve and we can identify with this KYC process. And sorry, and a guy just talk me in Discord and I forget.
That's okay. That happens to everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of parts to explain, but we are putting this KYC and MEL process for apply the license there, and also for vinculate the transaction on chain. Why? Because if we don't vinculate the real identities with the transaction on chain, we will have the problem of money laundering. Because I cannot say that Nin, who provides the KYC process in our marketplace and platform in the Web2, is making that transaction on chain to the smart contract who represent a crowdfunding campaign, if we don't have this link between the on-chain transaction and with the original identities. I don't know if this answered your question, but if not, you can make more or be more.
Yeah, I was just curious, how do we verify someone's identity?
Well, it's the same as Binance. You create your account. When you want to create your crowdfunding campaign or when you want to do your investment, you will need to verify your identity. You will download the app into your cell phone or with your webcam. You will have the analysis of your face. You will have the analysis of your ID. We will check it and you will pass the KYC process. The same is the KYC process and the anti-money laundering process. And this will only be relationship in our marketplace, because I know that the KYC and MEL is sometimes hated here in the crypto space, but this is really for the security for the startups and the investor. If you want to have your own wallet with your assets and you don't want to vinculate it to the identity in our marketplace, you can create a new wallet and use it only it for make the investment or receive the fundraising into the platform. But the process for comply the KYC and MEL is the same as Binance. You will read your face, your ID, and we will check it and pass the process.
Awesome. Glad you guys thought about it, because there's a lot of scams around right now.
Exactly. We don't want that for our image and for our marketplace, of course.
Great. So we had a couple of new people join. I think you've already presented to Zina. Is that how you pronounce your name? I think you presented in a different room, so now you're just popping in here. I don't know if you want to do it again.
Yeah, of course. Happy to.
And then Juan, you just popped on. Are you presenting or just watching? You're on mute.
Hello. No, I'm part of innovation. I was just watching how Ajax was presenting.
Okay, great. All right, so we've gone for an hour straight. Everybody else took a break. We're supposed to go back to the main room in about 20 minutes. So we have 20 minutes to kill before, so we can take a break. And if people want to use a bio break, get a cup of coffee, stretch your legs, we can take a couple minute break, and then we can do anybody who's left. I'm just looking at the list. Yeah, I think as far as people who are supposed to be in this room and presenting, I think we've got everybody. And if we don't, they're not here. So if you're supposed to be presenting in this room and you haven't had a chance to, please let me know. If not, we can take a break, and we'll do Tazina, and then we'll be done. But if you want to jump right into her, then we can do that as well. You tell me. Anybody need a break, or you want to keep going?
Let's
Mario,
keep going.
Keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
All right,
yeah.
good. All right, let's go.
Perfect.
So,
Then
Tazina,
let's go.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks. So Juan Pablo and Marcus, sorry you already heard it today, but at least you'll be able to pitch it tomorrow morning. So hi everybody, my name is Tiziana and I work for a company called SeedStars. SeedStars is essentially a capacity builder and an investor on emerging markets. So what does that mean? Essentially, we help startups shape their business models, revenue models, techs, etc. At very early stage. So usually work with companies that launch 0 to 2 years old, so very, very early stage on emerging markets. So the more the country is complex, essentially, the more we go into the country. And in parallel, we have VC funds, and so we invest in promising tech startups. We have a presence or activities in more than 75 emerging market countries. And essentially, we have been working on these markets for the past 10 years. And of course, that comes with a lot of learnings, a lot of experimentation. And one of the key learnings that essentially emerged is the very obvious for essentially everybody that we interact with, which is that talent is the key to everything. You want to launch a business, you need the right talent. You want your next consultant, you need the right talent. You want to essentially everything, you need the right talent. And so we decided to focus a bit on talent, and we said, okay, now we are supporting entrepreneurs, we are providing entrepreneurs with capital, what can we do? And the solution was a bit, let's create a pipeline of talents that have the right mindset. What do I mean with the right mindset? Essentially, I mean an entrepreneurial mindset, so business acumen, and on top of that, some technical skills so that they're able to become either a tech entrepreneurs or just somebody with a very proactive mind that does fits into today's job market and most likely tomorrow's even more. And so working on that for a few months, the realization became very clear that the problem wasn't access to talent, but it was the access of talents to education, right? Everybody here in this room probably had a chance to get education. And probably the reason why you and I got access to education is because either we were able to contract a loan from a bank, or because we had parents backing us, or because we had families, friends, whomever supporting us, because education is expensive, especially when not government backed. And so essentially we decided to focus a bit on that education financing and focused on what solutions already existed out there. And we came across an interesting financing instrument called the income share agreement. Essentially what that financing mechanism does is that we pay upfront for talents education. And then the talent, once they get a decent paying job, they repay under specific terms, which is usually that you repay for between 24 and 36 months. And you repay for your education through 15% of your income. Well, that varies a bit, but these are the generic industry standards. And so we said, you know what, we're gonna not only build educational systems that are aligned with 21st century skills, but we are also going to provide new education financing mechanisms. And so we started jumping on tens of calls with ISA providers. And the reality is there aren't that many, so I think we saw most of them. And realized that the problem was the same for everybody, which is that essentially the transactions are a bit tricky between all the actors, because first you need to sign an agreement, then you have money flows, then you need to share employment contracts, etc. And all of that is not streamlined. It's not like you have an ISA CRM that exists out there. And so we said, you know what, it looks as though putting all of that on chain is the solution to streamlining ISA deployments, and even more so on emerging markets where everything is to build, because as you can imagine, most ISA providers are on more developed markets. And so essentially we said, okay, what do we need, or who do we need around the table to create tokenized income share agreements, to put income share agreements on chain? And to do that, we partnered up with Proofspace, that most of you probably know, an interoperable identity network, with Cardashift, Cardano Natives, a launchpad that essentially raises funds, builds and accelerates solution on chain, with SmartChain, a blockchain solution provider, and with Chanson International, and they are new to the Cardano ecosystem. So through the proposal, we already brought their full community in. What Chanson does is that they've been deploying income share agreements on the African continent for the past 25 years. So they have quite a lot of experience. And then, of course, we're also working with our internal teams. And so essentially, we broke down the work into tens of milestones that I'm not going to share right now, but they're all in the proposals, but into three core proposals. The first one, which touches upon use case testing. So essentially looking into the state of the industry today in terms of the best practices and the biggest failures of income share agreements to date, and also the tech enablements that we could include into our solution. So that's proposal one. Proposal two is about doing a POC, through which we will essentially deploy 15 tokenized income share agreements. And so to do all of that, there are a lot of technical steps, such as the creation of DIDs for all stakeholders, the creation of wallets for all these actors that are probably not part of the community yet, creating registries, creating the smart contracts, et cetera, et cetera. And then we proposed the third proposal, which is a proposal geared at essentially scaling, making our project bigger than us by proposing a new standard through a CIP, essentially. So that's pretty much it. Essentially, we want to go from entrepreneurs to very skilled talents. And what we want to do is open the door to all the talents that today have a closed door towards education.
That was fantastic. And thank you for doing it a second time. And very interesting stuff, very cool idea. And any questions from the folks online?
Mario, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, we don't hear you. I see you talking, but we don't hear anything.
You can type it up.
Yeah, you know, he has his hand up. I wonder if there's something I have to do with that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Something changed.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, my question is, everybody that has faced somehow the startup world know seed stars. So I know seed stars as well. I know it's a quite rich ecosystem with tons of connection with all VC in the world. At least that was my impression. And yeah, I'm happy that SeedStars is connected with the Catalyst, and I just checked that. I'm not sure if it's wrong or not. The amount of your project, the full amount, is around $1 million, right?
No, so not our projects. Our projects are split into 3 proposals that are between 100 and 200K, depending on the amount of development that's required. But you are right in saying that SeedStars is quite a broad company. And so we have different teams focusing on different initiatives. And I know that another team inside SeedStars is focusing more on acceleration services, mentorship, etc., which is a continuation of a project that we started under Fund9. Indeed made, I think, another 7 proposals.
Yeah, I just saw collected. It's like $1 million dollars asked from SeedStars. That I don't know. Yeah, my feeling was that Catalyst was started to finance to fund little project, little community, like 1-2 people, and 1 million sound a lot for me, especially from SeedStars. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's a good point. My understanding is also that, and you're definitely right, I'm sure. On top of that, I think the other aim of Catalyst is really to create and to increase the amount of use cases that are brought and the amount of communities that are brought onto the Cardano chain. And I think that's where projects such as income share agreements that are brand new to us, that are brand new to all the co-proposers, that are brand new essentially on emerging markets, make sense in terms of increasing the applications that Cardano hosts and increasing the communities that Cardano is able to attract. And I mentioned that in the other room. What I think is interesting about the proposal, but again, I'm not very objective, I guess, is that it's not the SeedStars community that we're bringing on chain. I mean, of course, but I mean, it's beyond that. What we're bringing are education providers, so essentially schools, tertiary education, right? So universities, higher education institutions, etc. But also all the students that will attend those institutions and also the funders of these institutions. And our bet is if we are able to essentially bring the most innovative tertiary education providers and attendees on the Cardano chain, it's a great achievement. But I do agree with, I do agree with your point. It's a bit, what's the essence, right? What's the inception?
Yeah. Thank you. I was just not a question, just observation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, I think we're done then. We have 15 minutes before they're going to start the final session, but I think we might start early unless somebody else is here that wants to present. Am I missing anybody?
I can't pose my question.
Okay, go ahead. Sure. Go ahead.
Tizian. Tizian, I'd like to know why are you targeting emergent market?
Yeah, it's a good question. So essentially, SeedStars' mission is to strive and have a positive impact through entrepreneurship and technology on emerging markets. And that's the inception of the company. So we've been operating for the past 10 years, and we only operate on emerging markets because that's where we see there is the most need. There's the most need for innovation and the more. Essentially, let me start back. 10 years ago, when we first started SeedStars, and I'm not a co-founder, when they first started SeedStars, the gap was so immense between countries like France, Switzerland, Belgium, or Italy, where I'm from, for example, and what existed in Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, Pakistan, Argentina, you name it, right? And the challenges were very different. And the role that governments were taking up to provide basic services, health, education, financial services, etc., was so immense that they decided that the biggest opportunity we could tackle was in these countries. And so essentially the way SeedStars shaped up is that the team is located nearly at 100% on emerging markets and is nearly 100% from emerging markets. And so it's people from their own country trying to solve problems in their own country through this international network that essentially provides capacity building and capital to entrepreneurs. Does that answer your question?
I think it does. Did it answer your question? He's nodding. Okay. Anyone else with any questions? Okay, if everybody who's presented who needed to present, and thank you all for presenters, a lot of great projects. Let me just check and see if they're going to pull us back into the main room for the conclusion. Just hold on for a second. Let me just let them know. Or I might have to let you guys go if we're going to just end here because somebody's already closing the recording. We are done. All right, just waiting on Discord to see what's what. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is I'm going to do a wrap, and then I don't think we're going back anywhere. It's just he just said say some words and then close the meeting. All right, so I mean, first off, thank you again to all the presenters. I think you did a great job. I'm newer to the Cardano ecosystem. I come from the Dfinity and Polkadot ecosystem. So this is we actually make a software solution called Catalyze, which is ironic given this is a Catalyst thing. It's Catalyze is a Web3 alternative to Discord that we're going to be porting over to Cardano. Right now it runs on the internet computer on Dfinity. So we will be in your shoes, maybe Fund9 when we submit our proposal. So this was very helpful for me just to see how all the work that goes involved in building the proposals and promoting them, the voting process. It's a lot different in this ecosystem. So I've learned a lot in a short amount of time. Does anybody have any final comments or questions you want me to take back to Mauro or the team on anything in terms of the format? But I think we're close to being done. So if anybody has any final words on anything, things we could do better with the process. Obviously, we had some issues in the beginning with Zoom, which we'll fix next time, but I can wrap it here unless somebody else wants to add anything. Okay, I think you're done. I think everybody's probably a little tired. It's later in the world for you guys than it is for me, so I'll let you all go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Congratulations for great work so far, and I wish you all the best of luck with your proposals, and we'll stay in touch. So take care, and you're free to go.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.